Students, from the electromagnetic induction chapter, we have to discuss Faraday's experiment clearly. That in previous classes already we have discussed the magnetic flux. Magnetic fluxes are the magnetic field lines which are touching the surface area normally. That part already we have discussed. Here we will be finding that electromagnetic induction. What is the electromagnetic induction? Actually, it is the phenomenon of producing an induced EMF. An induced EMF due to the change in magnetic flux linked to the coil. It is the phenomenon of producing an induced EMF due to the change in magnetic flux linked to the coil. Suppose you have to select one coil and the change in magnetic flux that should be linked the change in magnetic flux that should link to the coil, and whatever the current we are getting it, that is the induced EMF or induced current also. Induced current matlab that current which will be produced without touching. Students, it is very clear, magnetic flux, change in magnetic flux, we are talking about the change in magnetic flux that must be linked to the coil. So how do you get the change in magnetic flux? If the magnetic field will be varied, if the magnetic field strength will be changed, then you can get the change in magnetic flux. If that change in magnetic flux will be linking to the coil, the current will be produced in that coil. That current is called the induced current, or whatever the voltage you are getting, that is the induced EMF or induced voltage you get it. And this phenomenon was experimentally demonstrated by Faraday, that you tell it of the Faraday's experiment. Our main target is that to how to get the change in magnetic flux. How to get the change in magnetic flux? The change in magnetic flux, here already have arranged one experiment here. One bar magnet already have taken and one coil already is taken, and the coil is connected, or a galvanometer is connected to the coil in a closed circuit. So why the galvanometer? What is the role of the galvanometer? Whatever the current will be produced in the coil, that will be detected by a galvanometer. Our aim is to that how that current is produced here. If what happens here, if the bar magnet, the north pole of the bar magnet, whenever it is suddenly taken towards the coil, what will happen? Magnetic flux no doubtly will be linking to the coil, but here you get the change in magnetic flux will be linked into the coil. Change in magnetic flux means here that we link the coil by the increasing magnetic flux. The magnetic flux will be increased, and the increasing magnetic flux is linking to the coil. That is the change in magnetic flux, and immediately at that instant you can get the current produced on the coil. That is, the direction of the current will be along this way, and the galvanometer will show the deflection. Suppose in this direction the galvanometer is giving the deflection. In other part, if the north pole of the magnet is suddenly taken away, if it is suddenly taken away, what happens here? In that case also magnetic flux linked to the coil, but decrease in magnetic flux linked to the coil. Decrease in magnetic flux linked to the coil, in that instant we get the current on the coil. So the direction of the current will be different to that of the above one. Here it was moving along this way direction current, and current is moving along this direction. But the deflection of the galvanometer also will be in opposite direction. In both the cases, in one cases, the magnetic flux which is linking to the coil by increasing manner, and here the magnetic flux which is linking to the coil by decreasing manner. So in both the cases we get the current through the coil, that is called the induced current, because the magnet is not touching here. You just remember, magnet is not touching, simply the current whichever is producing through the coil, and that is detected by the galvanometer connected to it. The third case is, what is the third case is indicating? The magnet is not moving. The magnet is not moving. The magnet is kept at rest, and the coil is also rest. What happens in this case? No doubtly the magnetic flux linked to the coil. Magnetic flux linked to the coil in this case also, but the amount of magnetic flux which is linking to the coil by constant amount, no changing is there, neither it is increasing nor it is decreasing. So in these cases no current will be produced. So from here you get the important factor is that we require only the change in magnetic flux. We require only the change in magnetic flux. Change in magnetic flux. Magnetic flux. The important thing is just remember magnetic flux should be changed. The magnetic flux should be changed. Either it will be increasing manner or it will be decreasing manner. In which method, if you link the magnetic fluxes by changing magnetic flux to the coil, in that case you get the magnetic induced current. In other way also, suppose if you keep the, because here in this case already you have kept the coil at rest and we are simply you are moving the magnet. In other sense, if you keep the magnet at rest and you give the motion to the coil, simply the coil, if it will be moving out, is going away and coming in. So what happens if the coil will be moving? In that case also you get the magnet induced current. So either the magnet will be moving towards the coil or the coil will be moving towards the magnet, or both are moving, relatively moving with each other. In all these cases we get the induced current. That is the case for the bar magnet. And in other way also, suppose what happens, whenever the current passes through the, when the current passes through the conductor, magnetic field is created. It here we have kept the two coil. In one coil, what happens here, that is fixed, that is the galvanometer is connected here, and here one battery is connected, cell is here. Whenever the cell is current is cell is made off and on. If you are switching off and switching on, what happens whenever you switch on? When you switch on, so current passes through this primary coil. If you take the primary coil, this is the secondary one. In primary coil, the current will pass whenever the current is, when switch is made on. Immediately the current will pass through it. As soon as the current passes through it, the magnetic field is created, and magnetic field produces the magnetic fluxes, and that magnetic flux is linking to the secondary coil, and immediately induced current is produced here. And if you switch off, if you switch off the battery here, immediately the current falls down and the magnetic field also falls down, and the same time also you can get the induced current here. Means what happens here, whenever you are switching off and on continuously in the primary coil, if you are supplying the current and stopping the current, switching off and on continuously, the magnetic field or the change in magnetic flux will be varied. The magnetic field will be increased and will decreased, and that change in magnetic fluxes will be linking to the secondary coil, and in that case we can get the magnetic induced current in the secondary coil. So by whenever by supplying the current by varying manner, we get the varying magnetic field, and varying magnetic field produces the varying magnetic flux, and varying magnetic fluxes, whenever it is touching to the another coil, produces the induced current. From overall that experiment, we are getting, it is to be concluded that whenever the change in magnetic flux linked to the coil, whenever the change in magnetic flux is linking to the coil, an induced EMF is produced in the coil. And this phenomena actually is called the electromagnetic induction. And by this two phenomenon, by this phenomenon, that we can produce the electric current further. So what are the laws of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction? First law, what it tells. Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Whatever the first law. Whenever there is a change in magnetic flux linked to the coil, whenever there is a change in magnetic flux, change in magnetic flux linked to the coil, an induced EMF is an induced EMF is produced in it. Produced in it. And this induced EMF continues. This induced EMF continues so long as as the change in magnetic flux linked to the coil. Change in magnetic flux linked to the coil. This is the first law. That means actually simply it is an instantaneous process. The changing magnetic flux is linking to the coil, at the same time the current is produced. The change in magnetic flux stopped, current is stopped. It is completely instantaneous process. If the changing is continuing, then the flux induced current will be produced continuously. And the second law, what it tells, second law, that is Faraday's second law, the magnitude of induced EMF, the magnitude of induced EMF, the magnitude of induced EMF, the magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux, rate of change of magnetic flux linked to the coil, rate of change of magnetic flux linked to the coil. The magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux linked to the coil. That means if you talk about the induced EMF is E, if you find the magnitude, that will be equal to, is directly proportional to, E directly proportional to, we can tell it as the d phi by dt. d phi by dt, that is the rate of change of magnetic flux linked to the coil. So that from the Faraday's law, we cannot determine the direction of induced current. Suppose the induced current is produced in the coil, in which direction induced current will be produced. What will be the direction of the induced current? That is not mentioned here. Only the amount of induced current whichever is produced, that is that idea you can get it. You can get the magnitude of induced EMF. The induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux linked to the coil. It means to tell, if the change in magnetic fluxes will be more and more, then induced current also will be more and more. So how the rate of change of magnetic flux is linking? If you just rapidly take the magnet towards the coil, rapidly, very quickly, and in that manner we can get the more and more induced EMF. And this is the two laws of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and the direction of the induced current will be determined by the Lenge's law. In the next video we will be discussing about that Lenge's, what is Lenge's law. Thank you.